We live in a time of deep transformations in the world, an era of crisis and changes in every area of life, whether work life, family life, social life, politics, religion, or, without a doubt, in healthcare. We are facing a revolution in the area of public health. With the pandemic, the fragility of the world's healthcare system, including in the most developed countries, became apparent to everyone. That which, prior to 2020, sounded like a pointless argument is today a palpable, urgent need. But let me backtrack a few years to 2012, when this revolution was just beginning. Approval of the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, represented a radical change in the approach to healthcare in the United States. The challenge was to design a healthcare system that was less costly, offering patients better quality and better results in primary care, in order to reach the large percentage of the population that didn't have healthcare insurance at that time. It all looked great on paper, but putting it into practice was not easy. President Obama appointed me as a member of the Obamacare Advisory Board. In 2012, approximately 30 people attended the meeting with the president. Most of the opinions were flattering, but when the president asked me what I thought, I said, I don't want to rain on your parade, Mr. President, but everyone who has health insurance right now won't be able to keep it. And those who have serious health problems like cancer are going to lose the primary care physicians. They ate me alive, as they said. But what I had said quickly came to pass. A month and a half later, the president invited me to a celebration in the White House, which I attended with my son. Barack Obama entered the hall, and as soon as he saw me, said, "My doctor from New York, Dr. Tallaj." The president then said to his wife, "Look, Michelle, this was the only one who told me the truth." That night, he didn't let me return to New York. He invited me to a meeting the following day with a number of White House officials. The president began saying, "You might be wondering why I had Dr. Tallaj besides me on my right side. Well, it's because he was the only one who told me the truth." For years, I have been associated with groups of Hispanic doctors. I am very familiar with the situation in our Hispanic communities in New York City. I am convinced that the only way to transform the reality of that situation is to unite and work together as a community. That's why when President Obama launched his healthcare reform initiative, I saw that there was a great potential as long as we, doctors, participated in it together. The fail is with the political and economic power of the hospital and everything else they represent. It's like the fight of David against Goliath. Einstein once said, no problem is to be solved from the same consciousness that created. In other words, we need to look elsewhere for the solution. My vision was to lead a network of family doctors who were in poor neighborhoods and give them the tools they need to treat patients with low-cost insurance. We will be innovators. My vision was to find all those doctors who, like my uncle, the pediatrician, fought day in and day out for the health of their patients in poor neighborhoods. I started with the Dominicans and Latinos because they were the people that I knew. Soon, we added Chinese, Pakistanis, Indians, Koreans, African Americans, Africans, Jews, and even Russians. This marked the birth of Somos Community Care, a network of healthcare providers, including more than 2,500 family doctors, serving more than 1 million patients in New York City. When New York Governor Andres Cuomo called on healthcare organizations to present their proposals, 160 submitted applications. In the end, the governor selected 25 organizations, including Somos, the only one physician-led. One of the main goals of this reform was to reduce unnecessary hospitalizations and emergency room visits by 25%. By 2019, Somos had reduced hospital admissions and emergency room visits by 39 and 36% respectively. That represents a saving just for that year of $336 million. Somos is the #1 network of healthcare provider in the state of New York. We have saved the federal government a lot of money by being innovators and using common sense. As the saying goes, stick to what you know. And no one knows how to manage healthcare better than doctors do. Nevertheless, in the year 2020, all our preparations were put to the test. For all of us, there is life before and after the COVID-19 pandemic. All of humanity has learned firsthand what it means to suffer through a plague. We have seen friends and family die. We have feared that the hourglass could break at any moment. We have seen our healthcare system collapse like a house of cards. And even now that some time has passed, we still haven't finished processing it. It will take more than these few minutes to recount everything Somos community care experienced during this pandemic. For me, this pandemic has been a time of strong faith in God, a lot of hope, and a call to employ all of our efforts and resources in order to save lives. 12 doctors from Somos, 12 of my brothers who were true healthcare heroes were infected with coronavirus while they were working and ended up losing their lives. Their love for their fellow human beings was greater than any fear that they may have. For me, their example of giving of themselves only confirms that the figure of the family doctor is the key to the future. When the doctor treats your individual case, the doctor gets to know you as a person. He or she knows that if you get a shot of penicillin and you are allergic, you are going to have a bad reaction. And if your doctor, like the doctors of Somos, speak the same language as you do, he or she will understand your idiosyncrasies because you share the same culture. Family doctors know all of these things. Knowing how to treat patients is our art. And believe me, many doctors are true artists. I believe that the world is ever-changing, but some things stay the same. Today, there is a lot of talk about purpose, and that's a good thing. For me, each person's individual purpose is not different from the universal purpose for which all of us were created. That universal purpose is love. Because in the end, believe me, even if it seems like everything is going wrong and we can't do anything to fix it, in fact, we can. Because, like the song says, love makes the world go round.